Well, we haven't taken this trip in a long time, but it's always a fun event. We do have some Champions League football tonight, but you're not going to be seeing me for that. But we do have a lot of cricket news to discuss, and so, as always, it's time to strap on your seatbelts, if you'd like, as we take a little leisurely trip off to the boundary. Yes, people, welcome back to the corner. And this title says it all. We are taking our little trip off to the boundary. And this is, of course, episode 47 of our little trip. And we do have quite a few things to discuss, but obviously, with the Champions League taking place tonight, two mouth-watering clashes. Real Madrid trying to make sure they go through against City at the Etihad, and of course, my Arsenal team trying to go to the Lions' Den in Munich at the Allianz Arena and try and win, or at the very least, come back with some pride intact. And so we're trying to obviously going to try and make this a very quick show. And of course, I will be hoping for some people to join in the chat. Join in the stream whenever they possibly can. And there are some comments, of course, and I will read them out while we wait for some people to join in. Chelsea fan, of course, arguably our biggest supporter and friend. Big up to you. Thank you for joining in. A reminder to keep hitting at the like button. And I also am grateful to Chelsea fan for reminding me the YouTube community earlier on today lost one of its most colorful members, of course, with his own channel in the form of Abradeep Saha, better known, of course, as the Angry Rant Man. Now, the sad part is that he actually had been, he was, of course, famous, as many of you would know, as a Chelsea fan, for his exceptionally loud videos where he would, would review a lot of sporting events, a lot of films as well. And he was infamous, in my opinion, for the way he would literally be extremely loud and angry, which is why they called him the Angry Rant Man. And I will admit that, I never really knew what to sort of think of him, because I remember, watching some of his Chelsea videos and thinking, you know what, he seems to be angry for no reason. But deep down, I'm pretty sure that he was a really, really good bloke, and he had a lot of friends as well. His family loved him. And when I got the news that he had, in fact, been admitted into hospital in the state of Karnataka, which is neighboring the state where I'm in right now, it was, of course, for a very serious heart operation. And then complications from that sadly led him to develop multi-organ failure. And when I heard that news, I sort of feared the worst. And despite the best efforts of the hospital staff, they weren't able to keep him alive. And he sadly passed away early this morning at about 10:15 Indian Standard Time, which would be about, I want to say, 5:45 or 5:45 in the morning UK time. And you can work it out from there. And he's obviously left behind a devastated family and some bereft friends and a lot of his YouTube subscribers who enjoyed his videos. And I do not wish to speak ill of the guy at this particular time. I thought he obviously did very well to create the content that he did and earn the following that he did. And he certainly was a pioneer in his field. And so I hope he will find peace with the Almighty, and I hope his family members will also find comfort, strength, and eventual peace. And I hope his friends will be comforted. And I hope his subscribers will remember that he isn't really gone. His memory will still live on. And as long as you keep watching his videos, I'm sure he will almost certainly know from his heavenly abode that he is missed and still fondly remembered. So, Abradeep, rest well, man. And hopefully you will continue to do your bit right up in the heavens. Om Shanti. And we've got some more comments coming in. Thank you very much indeed. I see Stepsy's in the chat. Didn't know him personally, but yeah, very much loved. Important to pay respects and best wishes to his family, and best wishes to the man himself. And I hope he will find peace. Thank you very much indeed. Now, of course, I will be waiting for people to join in, but I'm going to start by talking about some of the big headlines. And obviously, we're going to start with international cricket first. And this is the first big headline with two of Pakistan's prodigal sons in the form of Mohammad Amir and Imad Wasim coming out of international retirement to play for Pakistan in the 5-match T20 international series. And I will, in fact, share the screen, courtesy of Cricinfo, of course. And we've got it right here. And another chap who's come in is Usman Khan, who was actually playing for the UAE earlier this month, but formally switched allegiances, a little bit like what Mahika Gar did for England's women. So Mohammad Amir and Imad Wasim have been called up for the first time since 2020 and 2023, respectively, as Pakistan announced their squad for New Zealand's visit for 5 T20 internationals later this month. And the first one will, in fact, be taking place tomorrow. I will give you the schedule. And in spite of his struggles and his poor form, the selectors have also stuck with opener Fakhar Zaman and didn't have the best Pakistan Super League with his team, the Lahore Qalandars. The first Pakistan squad since the recently concluded PSL, and performances in that tournament were in fact richly rewarded. Azam Khan was retained after his exploits with Islamabad United, who won the title, and Shadab Khan, who was a player of the tournament, returns, but he was actually dropped for Pakistan's tour to New Zealand earlier in the year. Abrar Ahmed also returns. Irfan Khan was the emerging player of the tournament, has been called up for the first time. And basically to Usman talking about how grateful he is to be called up to play for Pakistan. And it's also the first series which sees Babar Azam returning as a prodigal son of sorts. He regains the captaincy of Pakistan's white ball side after an acrimonious procedure which saw the PCB strip Shaheen Shah Afridi of the armband after barely a series. And it just goes to show that when it comes to drama in international cricket, nobody does it like the Pakistanis. Afridi is still in the squad, and Naseem Shah returns to the Pakistan squad for the first time since September 2023, having missed several months with a long-term injury. Naseem Shah had, in fact, missed Pakistan's World Cup campaign, and his absence was clearly felt. And the decision to include Imad Wasim and Amir was a straightforward one, given their availability for selection, and considering Haris Rauf's injury and Mohammad Nawaz's current form. Selector said Wahab Riaz, the former fast bowler himself. They have good match-winning capabilities, and they will consistently deliver strong performances to bolster the team's objectives. And it could be important because, obviously, if they are able to perform quite well, they should be able to seal their spots in the squad for the World Cup. And in fact, Amir came out of retirement primarily for that tournament to be taking place in the USA and the Caribbean. Former international Azad Mahmood, the former all-rounder, has been brought in as head coach. It's an ad hoc appointment rather than a long-term one, but that means that he will leave his role as Surrey assistant coach with immediate effect. As I was saying, that the opportunity to work for Pakistan again was too good to turn down. Wahab is the senior team manager alongside Mansoor Rana. And today is, of course, the 17th of April, and the first T20 will be taking place on the 18th of April. The first three will be in Rawalpindi, and the last two will be in Lahore. So we've got the squad over here for you right now. And it is going to be interesting, obviously, to see how the prodigal sons do. And let me just go back and give you the schedule for the games in question. the most important thing when you're sharing something from Cricinfo is to make sure that you do not have these ridiculous advertisements coming up. And yes, the first T20 will be taking place at 7:30 p.m. I would like to think that that is IST where I'm based, so I think it'll be 3 o'clock in the UK. And all T20 internationals will be taking place at around about the same time, with the first 3 in Rawalpindi and the final 2 in Lahore. So the 18th, which will be tomorrow on a Thursday, then a Saturday and a Sunday sees T20 internationals back to back, followed by I want to say another Thursday on the 25th and another Saturday on the 27th. And I want to make sure that yep, these are in fact all the games in question. There are no ODI matches as such. This particular series is, of course, being conducted in an attempt to gear up for the T20 World Cup. And as far as New Zealand are concerned, I'm going to take a look at their particular lineup and just see how they compare. And thankfully, no advertisements here. So big headlines here is that Finn Allen and Adam Milne have been ruled out of their tour of Pakistan, raising concerns as to whether or not they might be fit for the T20 World Cup. Allen suffered a back injury and Milne picked up an ankle problem during training ahead of the team's departure for the 5-match T20 international series. And Tom Blundell has been recalled, and uncapped all-rounder Zach Fultz has also joined in. Tom Bruce had, in fact, been considered, but made himself unavailable due to family reasons, and he's also in the middle of a county deal with Lancashire in England. Now, Allen is one half of the opening partnership with him and Devon Conway for New Zealand. He has a strike rate of 163.60 in T20 internationals. Would normally be certain of his place in the squad, but if the injury is serious, and back injuries are quite serious, then doubts will be raised. And as far as Milne, he has had an injury-hit career. He's not so assured of a spot in the final 15, and with a fine array of talent when it comes to fast bowlers in New Zealand, it is fair to say that Milne will be sweating on his place. And when you consider how well Trent Boult has been bowling for the Rajasthan Royals, you just wonder, despite him not being contracted, could he be called up for the tournament? We don't know. Now, obviously, the New Zealand coach, Gary Stead, offering sympathy to both Allen and Milne. And folks, obviously, taking 14 wickets, average of 16 for Canterbury in the Super Smash, with a batting strike rate of 150. And Blundell, who is New Zealand's Test wicketkeeper, has previously played in 7 T20s. And New Zealand, of course, are already without 9 players for the Pakistan tour due to IPL commitments. And Will Young, Tom Latham, and Tim Southey are also not available. So Michael Bracewell will captain the side, also with the squad also including uncapped batsman Tim Robinson. No, not the former England batsman Tim Robinson. This is a different one. And this is, of course, the squad as it is. So there's no Allen, there's no Milne. So it's Blundell and folks who've been called up. Apart from that, it's Mark Chapman, Josh Clarkson, Jacob Duffy, Dean Foxcroft, Ben Lister, Cole McConchie. Jimmy Neesham is a name many of us will know. Will O'Rourke, Tim Robinson, Ben Sears, Tim Seifert, and Ish Sodhi. So a squad reasonably lacking in experience and obviously strapped for that, given how, they are given their commitments. And we've already got 2 Yep, we've got B, who's floated like a butterfly and stung like a bee, arriving all pretty much in time. And of course, our host is the most, Charlotte. First of all, Hanno, big up to you, Bert. How are you this evening?
I'm good, Manny. Hopefully you're also good. Of course, big match for you tonight, but
yeah, I've seen your team already. I've seen the Arsenal team.
Yeah. Yeah, at least Arteta won't be making the same mistakes he made earlier on. But Mr. B, big up to you. And how are you, mate?
Yeah, big up, man. Yeah, I'm cool, mate. Cool. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
was just going to say about the Royals, about Super Joss comes to the rescue once again.
Oh,
107.
mate, listen, I've got those as headlines, and I will be dealing with them. Now,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
stay on for about maybe 15 minutes, but I will have to hop off a little bit. Now, of course, the
No worries,
big
mate.
headline of the big headline, of course, is that we've got the Pakistan New Zealand T20 International Series, which will be starting tomorrow with the first international taking place in Rawalpindi. And the headline, of course, is that Pakistan have got some prodigal sons coming back. Mohammed Amir, Imad Wasim, and Babar Azam returns as captain. And once again with New Zealand, because most of their key players are unavailable, up to 9 players, they've also lost Finn Adam and Adam Milner. Their squad is going to be very light on experience, and Bracewell will be captaining the team. So, Hanno, when you take a look at the Pakistan team, for instance, obviously we see, as I've said, the prodigal sons coming back just in time for the tournament. And I believe Naseem Shah's also coming back. He missed the ODI World Cup, and I believe he will add something to the squad. And then Babar Azam coming back as captain. I wonder if by going back to the future, Pakistan are taking risks. It does seem to me, though, that it does highlight a dearth of available talent and informed players, perhaps.
Yeah, it's interesting this squad because there's a few names that I personally don't expect, but again, also a few names that are expected. But Baba as captain, don't know how that will go down with the squad as well.
Yeah. Well, you actually missed me talking about what happened, and I am sharing this article right now. And Shaheen Afridi was in fact T20 captain, but after barely one series, he was stripped of the captaincy and all of that. After all that palaver, and I think you and Mr. B can agree with me, and we all know that when it comes to drama in international cricket, nobody does it like the Pakistanis. Am I right?
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
I think we come quite close to it, to be fair to them.
The South Africans, yeah.
Well, at least obviously, you are doing fairly well. But a highlight from today's current match is that Atapatu is giving Wolfvaardt a run for her money. But this is the squad, of course, and most of these players have been rewarded for excellent performances in the recently concluded PSL. A few of them have been recalled to the squad. Usman Khan was in fact playing for the UAE, but recently he has completed the formalities and will in fact switch loyalties from the UAE to Pakistan. Whatever. But so with Imad Wasim and Mohammed Amir coming back into the team, obviously you do have to think that there will be some experience and quality coming back in. But Pakistan used to produce a lot of really talented limited overs cricketers, definitely a lot of talented fast bowlers. Are we seeing a dearth in all of that now?
Go on, Ed.
You can go on, must be.
Yeah, I pretty much agree there, Manny. To be honest, seems to be at the moment. I mean, I know you were saying how boring it is in the IPL. You don't really like it, Manny. I get all that, but I think there is still a lot of excitement there, especially with the bowlers and the bowlers. Some of the bowlers coming from there, don't forget as well, coming from the IPL. So they are actually doing well over there, and it's not all just good for batting and that. So I think there is good crop of bowlers coming through here, and I don't know all the names, but I'm sure obviously you got all the ones there, I guess, all the players there and that on here.
Yeah. Well, Afridi, of course, has been Pakistan's leading light with the ball, and he is still in the squad.
Yeah.
So maybe Mohammed Amir coming back in, along with Imad Wasim, will lend some competition.
But is there any new ones coming through? Any new players?
Yeah, I'll just go back on this. As I said, most of the players selected have been picked because of their performances in the PSL. Fakhar Zaman, the opener, still sticks around, but he hasn't had the best of tournaments. Shadab Khan, He had been dropped for Pakistan's tour to New Zealand, but he comes back in. Abrar Ahmed also had a great PSL with the ball, so he also could provide some competition. And Irfan Khan has been called up for the first time. So at least with the squad, there is a blend of youth and experience. I just don't know if recalling the likes of Amir and Wasim, who had retired quite some time ago, would necessarily be the best way forward. But maybe, I suppose, if it's a one-off for the World Cup, it could be good. But Hannah, let's hear your perspective, son.
Yeah, I think there are a few young fast bowlers coming through. Of course, looking at that squad, we've got of course the not so not so youngster Afridi, but we've also got what I think it's the Ahmad Brothers Day of the bowlers. Zaman, Khan. I don't know. Zaman Khan is there. Nasim Shah. He's a youngster that came through recently. He's been
Ayub on that. I don't know. I think Ayub. Is it Ayub?
Ayub, yes.
Ayub. I don't really know him. I know a lot of the others, but obviously, as you say, Iftikhar and Imad and all that. I know all them. Rizwan, obviously, Mohammed Amir. Most of the others I do know, but there are a few they got in. Sorry, Hannah, mate. You carry on, man. Sorry about that.
So, no, definitely it is looking like a return to fast bowling is getting back for them. I don't know if there is any really any proper fast bowlers like coming other than these Shah and Khan that are youngsters that are coming through right now onto the scene just in the whole world of cricket. But definitely looking at that Pakistan squad, they're looking to bring back fast bowling, in my opinion. Because you've got Zaman Khan, you've got Nasim Shah, you've got Afridi, then you've got Amir and Abbas Afridi, not related, by the way. Medium fast bowlers, basically. So yeah, and then you've got one or two spinners, Ahmed and Mir. But I don't think you really need so much spinners in New Zealand for a thing in New Zealand. So, yeah, no, I think fast bowling is coming back for Pakistan. We'll see how long it lasts. Of course, I don't think for it's ODI World Cup that's coming up, if I'm correct. Not a T20 one.
No, it is the T21. That's going to be in the US and the Caribbean. The ODI was actually, a long a time earlier. And now we're actually going to give you the New Zealand squad. And an update on the squad, of course, is that Finn Allen and Adam Milne are missing out on the squad due to injury. And this is the squad, of course. Bracewell will captain the team. And an uncapped batsman, Tim Robinson, is in line for a debut. No, Mr. B, not the former England batsman, Tim Robinson. This is another guy.
Not a referee either. Tim Robinson refereed the other day. Yeah, in the match. Yeah.
Thank goodness for that, I would say. And Will O'Rourke, a fast bowler, has been named. And Bracewell hasn't played for New Zealand since March after suffering a ruptured right Achilles playing for Worcestershire in the T20 Blast in June, and then a broken finger. But he did, of course, take a career best 8 for 41 in New Zealand's Plunket Shield competition. There are 9 players who are on IPL duty, as well as Will Young, who has an overseas deal with Nottinghamshire, Tom Latham, awaiting the birth of his second child, and Tim Southey, who needs to have a period of conditioning after the home season. And, Yeah, so instead of Finn Allen, I can tell you that it was Tom Blundell who was called up as a wicketkeeper, and also Zach Folkes, who also had a pretty decent first-class season with New Zealand. But aside from Bracewell, Allen, Chapman, Neesham, Seifert to an extent, and Southey, this is yet again another squad which is really light on experience. And you just have to wonder, really, is there anything that New Zealand can try and do to stop its best players from taking lucrative deals and try and get them available for series like this, especially if it means being able to prepare for a major tournament? What do you boys say? Steve, I'll ask you to go first, mate.
Well, yeah, as you say, it's not made up of the most sort of experienced players, because obviously you haven't got Southey isn't there, and you haven't got, who's the other ones they usually have in there?
Well, Williamson is with
yeah.
Gujarat, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
And don't forget Devon Conway, who's also with the Super Kings and several others.
Yeah, Bolt and all that. No Bolt either.
Yeah, Bolt's actually not contracted, but he could possibly be asked to return for the tournament. I don't know.
But yeah, there are some there that I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, Duffy, is it Duffy? I don't know him. Don't really know Clarkson. Ben Lister, don't know. So there are a few. Who's the other ones there? Dean, what's that? Foxcroft? Is that Foxcroft?
Yeah, Dean Foxcroft, that's right.
Yeah, don't know him. So there are a few I don't really know, but I mean, obviously they're bringing some through here. I guess most of these are fairly young, aren't they? Some of these players that they're bringing through, are they? Or
yeah, quite young, quite inexperienced.
I wouldn't say they're that young, because looking at them, the age, except Tim Robertson and Folkes, most of them are older than 25. It's only Willow Rock was fantastic in my opinion, watching against big tall lad. So yeah, he's 22. So there's only 3 players that's under the age of 25. So it's mostly just inexperience, not as much age, just experience that's letting them down. The age is not really a fact, it's more the experience.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Steve.
No, I'm just going to say, Manny, it's going to be, it could be fairly interesting, really, because if you could probably say both teams are slightly inexperienced in certain sections, so it's going to make for quite. Is it all test, or is it one dayers, or just T20s?
Just 5 T20 internationals.
Right.
In preparation for the World Cup.
Well, it could be quite interesting. I mean, we're going to see what some of these players have got are any good, and these other newer players that I've never heard of. It'd be good to see what they can do. So it might make it quite interesting, the series. It could go one way and the other, really, because we're going to find out what some players are made of here. So as well for Pakistan as well, not just New Zealand. So. It could be a good one, lads. This one. So,
well, I mean, I do appreciate your optimism, of course, Mr. B, and I like the way you put it. But of course, some time will tell. And if I will take you back to the schedule, just hold on a minute.
Is it on anywhere live or anything on showing it? Or...
I'm pretty certain that back in the UK, either one of TNT or maybe Sky will be showing it. It should be being broadcast over here in my neck of the woods, because it is taking place in the subcontinent. Although, my broadcast services have let me down in the past with regard to certain, series. Shame on them for not broadcasting England women. Yeah, but so the first 3 T20s will be taking place in
Manny. Complain, mate. Write to him. Yeah.
I'll try to. And we got another headline over here saying that Baba is hoping to try to work with Afridi in supporting each other, all the same platitudes. It is what it is. But we got the first T20 taking place tomorrow, of course. That will be 3 p.m. in the UK, I think, which should be 5 p.m. over in your neck of the woods, Hanno. And all these T20s are taking place at the same time. So we've got the first one tomorrow, the second one coming up on a Saturday, and then Sunday you'll have another one. So that's 2 back-to-back. The fourth one will be taking place the following Thursday from Lahore. And Lahore is, of course, where the final one will be taking place as well on Saturday, the 27th of April. So I don't want to... I mean, I'd like you to give me your quick predictions for this particular series. I'm actually going to go for a Pakistan win over here, and it could be a convincing 4-1 win. I think. I just think the Kiwi youngsters are going to be on a hiding to nothing. Steve, what say you, mate?
You could be right there, Manny. I mean, because as you say, maybe Pakistan have probably got the more experienced overall than New Zealand. So, and they've got their own conditions. I don't know what the pitches are like over there in Pakistan. Are they turning pitches, or are they quick pitches, or slow, or I don't really know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they're necessarily turning pitches because, Pakistan used to produce some really, really top quality spinners back in the day. Now, not so much. It's their fast bowlers who seem to rule the roost. There are some tracks which can be a little bit dead at times, and they turn out to be backbreakers for the bowlers in many ways. But I still think that with the likes of Afridi and Amir, with their actions. Obviously, Afridi is a bit taller and stronger, and Amir is a little bit more whippy. So it will be a nice contrast, and it'll be interesting to see if both of those two play and which one gets used more. But what's your prediction, by the way, the scoreline?
Also, is there going to be bad weather over there? Do we know? I mean, Hanno generally knows what the weather's like wherever anywhere they go.
Being played?
Sorry, mate.
Where's the first one being played?
Rawalpindi in the Punjab province. All of them are in the Punjab province.
Do you get much rain over there? Probably not.
Some rain, but I don't think we're necessarily in monsoon season right now. Anyway,
let me check for you the weather.
I was going to say, if it's a full series, if there's not to be called off or anything, I could give a better prediction.
Let's go Lahore because that's where 2 of the games are.
Yeah, but those are the last 2 games on the 25th and the 27th of April.
Okay. Those should be fine.
And then
on the 24th and 25th.
No, the 25th and the 27th. And
what about
Rawalpindi? What about Rawalpindi from the 18th to the 21st?
Rawalpindi. Let me just get it. 1 sec. Give me 1 second.
Fine, mate. It's all right. Take your time.
But Lahore, very hot. Maybe late night rain, but shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, the T20s, they'd be over fairly quick, wouldn't they? No matter what the weather is. So
yeah,
shouldn't be on too long.
The thing is, of course, the T20s, if they start at a particular time, they may take about 3 or 4 hours. And, of course, some Chelsea fan gives a prediction saying Pakistan should win. But, Hanno, what's your prediction? We haven't heard from you.
Well, there's rain scheduled for Thursday and Friday. Evening showers. So, are they playing Thursday?
Yeah, 18th. No. That's tomorrow.
Oh.
And on the Saturday is the second one.
Possible rain tomorrow. Maybe afternoon thunderstorm. So Depends how this website classifies afternoon show. So yeah, prediction. I don't expect it to rain out one. The last one that was played in New Zealand came down to like the last ballish, that type thing. I remember that series. This one, let's go 5. Let's go 3-2 Pakistan.
Ooh,
New
so
Zealand
you
either
actually-
win one or there's like a draw or rain. Something happens.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I'll be dealing with.
I'm
Go
going to
ahead,
go.
Steve.
Sorry, Manny. I'm going to go with Hanno there. That's what I think as well. Because there could be rain, interfering with it, stopping it, or I think it'd be a little bit closer than we think. Because I think New Zealand could still come through with some results. You never know. If these players that are coming through, they might be quite good, quite promising. And New Zealand have been known to produce some good players, haven't they, over the years? So, I'd like to see this. I think it could be a close one, like Hanno just said. So I'm going 3-2 as well. So.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, rain has been predicted for the first one, so it will remain to be seen whether they actually call off the day's play or whether they decide to have a shortened, truncated game. And of course, keeping on T20 cricket, the IPL is heating up. First of all, let me say congratulations to Hanno for the Capitals winning.
Yeah.
You literally
congrats, mate. Congrats.
I didn't. I was going to check what game is on the IPL, and I was busy making the thumbnail. I was like checking what game is on. See, game is finished. We played. Didn't see the note.
But anyway, you ripped them a new one with the ball and with the bat.
Jake
Fraser McGurk really, simply gurked the ball, as you would say, all around the ground and set the
quality,
tone.
that guy, isn't he, that McGurk? He's quality.
Oh, he is. He is. I mean, you see some of his straight drives, mind you. I mean, just stand and deliver and leave the ball like that, leave the bat like that. I mean, that is absolutely majestic.
I invested when stocks were low. Stocks are very high now. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, obviously, we will talk a little bit briefly about whether or not it is getting a bit boring. But, of course, a match that was played yesterday, of course, featured the joint most successful run chase in IPL history, which also was done by the Rajasthan Royals. And, of course, the Butler does it again. And I love that. I love that reaction. It's our limited overs captain. And I'm sorry, Hannah, but I'm going to say it again. Form is temporary. Class is permanent.
Yeah, well said, Manny. Well said, man.
Yeah, knock it off, Hanno. Don't be salty. Don't be salty. Don't eat yeah, or better still, don't eat too much biltong. But I will take a look at the scorecard, and I will be honest, because I was preparing for the Champions League. I remember turning on the telly, and at that particular point, off 7 overs, Rajasthan needed to get 99 runs, literally a century. At that time, Butler was there. Rodman Powell, the West Indian T20 captain, was also there. So there is a lot of leadership in that team. And I was thinking, you know what? Butler was going at a steady pace, 40 off 32. I just didn't think that he would be able to take the team further. But, I was completely wrong. And, that's how it proved. And I will, take a look at the scorecard and share it with you right now. A tale of 2 centuries, one from Sunil Narayan. And, his exploits, of course, as a pinch hitter. Yeah, but he is an all-rounder, let me tell you that. And sadly, Phil had a bit too much salt and didn't do very much. But Narayan kept on going. And with support from the likes of Raghuvanshi and Rinku Singh with a nice little cameo and others, they got to 223 for 6. And as you can expect, it was the spinners who were tonked around the ground. Chahal and Ashwin conceding 103 runs between them off 8 overs. Kuldeep Sen didn't do too much better. Bolt and Avesh Khan were pretty good, and Bolt actually got his wicket off the last ball, I believe. He not the last ball, but he was the one who actually got Narayan out eventually ending his blistering innings. And Narayan's batting reminds me a great deal, and you might remember this, Steve, of a certain Mark Greatbatch, who was promoted to open the innings as more of a pinch hitter, and he was a part of that New Zealand team that really shocked the world in '92 and could have won the whole thing had it not been for Imran Khan's Pakistan and a certain Inzamam ul Haq taking it away from them. But there has been talk of Narayan being called back to the West Indies squad to play in the tournament, his home tournament. And he said after the match, we'll see how it goes. As we will find out, Narayan would score a ton, take a catch and take a wicket. And the Rajasthan batting card doesn't make for very good reading. One big innings at the top. But you see Butler, the equivalent of carrying his bat throughout, just as he did against Bangalore at the Sawai Mansingh Stadium. At Eden Gardens, he did the same thing. And the thing about Eden Gardens is that it's one of the biggest grounds in the country, one of the most iconic ones. Captain Samson didn't last very long. Parag came in and had a
doing well, Samson, lately, though. He's been doing some big innings.
Yeah, he had been playing well, but I think but the problem with him is that he's getting a few 50s, but hasn't really been too,
He got 80 odd, I think. Was it the first one? He got 80 odd. 82 or something?
Yeah, I think so, yes. But since then, he hasn't quite been consistent. But then again, Jaiswal, after the high of the Test series against our lot, he's sort of come back down to earth. And he had an ugly nick to slip, which got him out for 19. Parag came in and did really well, but ended up skying to Andre Russell over at, I want to say it was mid on. I want to say he was running in from long on, and then Ashwin was promoted over at Hetmeyer. That didn't go very well. Hetmeyer getting out for a duck, but Varun Chakravarti being denied a hat trick. But Powell came in and played a wonderful hand, and yet after he got out, I want you boys to look at Trent Bolt and Avesh Khan. One ball face between them. Butler was farming the strike, and that is what you would call a T20 innings played with a Test batting mindset. Farming the strike, refusing to take singles if it meant getting off strike and having the other batsman play, and just doing it all on his own. He hit a 6 off the first ball of the last over. He was tied down a little bit, but then a double and a single off the last 2 balls, and the Royals were home and dry. And
proper, go on, Trent.
Okay. And he literally destroyed Mitchell Stark, won that battle with him comprehensively. 2 wickets apiece for Rana, Narayan, and Chakravarti.
Yeah. They went for a lot, didn't they? Bloody hell. Yeah.
They did. They did. And so if I were to, I think I shared it. Yeah, the Butler does it again. Steve, I'm going to talk to you. Obviously, there was a lot of talk about how, with Butler not doing too well in the ODI World Cup and struggling a bit in the early matches of the tournament, he was struggling for form, and it was difficult to see if he could find it. But with 2 big innings for the Royals, I think he's just opted to stay in, play himself in, and then really get going. How great do you think his innings were, and how important do you think it is for him, his team, and also for England's chances?
Well, it's good to see, as you say, form is temporary, class is permanent, as we all know. And, we could see, he did struggle, but then so did a few other players in that World Cup, don't forget. It wasn't just him. It wasn't just all down to him. And I think he's proved here that, he can come back. All great players come back. I mean, Root done it, in that Test. And there's so many other players that will come back because they're good enough and they're great enough, and class is always there. And he's shown it here. I mean, if he can keep this going and then, keep this confidence going, and then come into the England setup again with us and carry this going, keep going forward, then we got a great chance. I mean, we, there's obviously going to be more than him playing. We want others to step up as well as him. But what? Not one man can do it all. It's not a one-man team, surely. But he's producing the goods.
Do it alone. That's
no doubt. At the moment, he's producing the goods, and I hope he continues. And it's good for the Royals because it gives us a great chance to win this, Manny. this IPL. So, you know, carry it
I'm
on.
glad you said that, Steve, because this segues into what I want to ask you, Hanno. Obviously, Steve and I will remember, not with fondness, the previous season when Rajasthan had a wonderful start, but then they completely faded away. What made me happy was that after losing that heartbreaking nail-biter against Gujarat at home, they responded now with 2 consecutive away wins, proving that they seem to be made of sterner stuff. Obviously, their decision to get rid of a few players like Jason Holder and a few others has helped a bit, because Holder, in my opinion, was really one of the biggest culprits in, Rajasthan's drop in form. But, we aren't halfway through the tournament, but Rajasthan are doing well. Top of the league right now with 6 wins out of 7. Should have been 7 had it not been for Rashid Khan. But do you think there is something different about this Royals team at the moment? And do you see them going far and making the playoffs, if not winning the whole thing?
Yeah, definitely. The Royals look they look fantastic at this moment of time. Playing exceptional cricket. Was Josh Butler being the main star, but yeah, it wasn't for long. It was really at one stage Henry Sampson. But let's all just remember that the Delhi Capitals, I believe, beat this team. No, we did not.
No.
We came very close. So yeah.
Yeah.
But hold that. KKR on top always. KKR. Always knew they would do it. But yeah, no, I think you guys, KKR, and I think you guys and KKR are definitely inside the top 4. I don't want to go early on to CSK because they do struggle away from home. That's one thing. I have seen they lost to us at home away from home, and against Mumbai away from home.
They beat Mumbai away from home. I think they lost to another team. I don't recollect.
Oh yeah, they beat Mumbai. See, that's how rubbish Mumbai are. Can't even.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously, I used to support Mumbai Indians, but no, as you say, they gone, haven't they? They're not the same team anymore.
I was always with the Royals really from the first edition, because I'll tell you why later on. But just before I go, I will just ask this brief question, because look, in 3 matches now we've seen the teams batting first. On 2 occasions being Sunrisers Hyderabad and the other one being the Knight Riders, posting obscene totals of well over 250 runs. And, whenever there's been a chase, on a few occasions, they have actually gotten close. In fact, quite recently, before the Royals' big win at the Eden Gardens, I believe at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, the Royal Challengers did come close to overhauling the 280-odd score, but just fell short.
Yeah.
But, the thing about this is that one thing which I cannot really stand is this idea of matches being so dominated by the batsmen that the bowling simply suffers. I mean, if you are able to bowl a perfect line, and some of the shots that are being played are absolutely brilliant cricket shots, and I suppose that's another thing. But some of the bowling, it has to be said, you take a look at the lines being completely off kilter, the length also not being up to scratch. It's as if some people just don't even know. If you're a spinner, that you've got to bowl an exceptionally tight line and force the batsman to come down the track if need be. And if you're a fast bowler, especially early on, you want to get the seam position right and bowl to the line. But we're seeing so many outrageous wides, and you never want to see a game being dominated completely by the batsman so much, because after a period of time, if we see more and more games like this, I firmly believe that it will get boring and people are going to start wearing off from the novelty. But briefly, Steve, I can ask you first, because you might remember the 99 World Cup semi-final between Australia and South Africa. For my money and several purists' money, that is the greatest match of all time, because you had excellent bowling. You had some important innings. You had drama until the last ball. I'm sorry to have to say this, Hanno, but that was the 99 ODI World Cup semi-final. Australia tied against South Africa, but South Africa...
good.
Yeah, he'll be back. South Africa ended up losing out. But
I don't really like hearing that, Manny.
Yeah. But, so just briefly, Steve, You want to see great matches where you see bowlers and the batsmen, and also some really good fielding.
A happy medium.
Taking centre stage, a happy medium for all, as it were. So, do you share my view that the IPL will sooner or later start to get exceptionally boring?
Yeah, yes and no, man. I mean, because the thing is, right, a lot of people like to see, it being smacked around. They like the big hitting, don't they? Massive sixes, fours. They do love that, and that's the whole point of the T20. That's what they want to see, isn't it? The big sixes and everything. But okay, but you do want it for the bowlers as well. You want it fair for them, not just the batsmen as well. You do want a happy medium, but unfortunately, it's going away the batters at the moment. But some people love it. They love to see that it being smacked around, and that the people that love batting. Like I'm sort of a batsman. I mean, I was never one for bowling. I've always loved smacking, walloping the ball around. I mean, because that's all I could do. When I played my dad, he used to bowl to me. I just went, what I just love to smack it, and but a lot of people do want to see a fair contest. Of course we do, but I'm not sure it's getting boring exactly. But as you say, you do want it fair. It has got to be fair between the batsmen and the bowlers. So, I don't know. I don't know what we can do though to make it like that. Is there any way to change this? I don't know. Can you change the pitches or what? I don't know.
Yeah, changing the pitches obviously would help, but also, the bowling has to improve. And I think Hanno will be satisfied to know that his Delhi Capitals team, including Ishant Sharma of all people, I don't know if Norchi played tonight, but they did a brilliant job in dismissing Gujarat for not even 90 runs. So that is an example of how bowlers can come out on top. But it does seem to be a bit more of a batsman's game, and the batsmen seem to be making a lot more in terms of hay. And I just wonder, Hanno, do you think it could start to get boring and the novelty will wear off after some time?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that I think for once in the IPL this season we have seen bowlers dominate. Well, yeah, and even if bowlers, do you know how dominant bowlers was in this game, Manny? That Tristan Stubbs bowled 1 over, considered 11 runs, which is massive, absolutely massive.
Yep.
But he got, guess how many wickets he got?
I want to say 2.
Of course, 2 wickets.
The golden arm.
That this is one game where bowlers got the better hand, but absolutely poor from the other bowlers this season. I've been on the end of it. We conceded 267 runs against SRH. Absolutely, much. I don't like it because you can't stop it. That's a problem.
No.
Like there's no way you can stop it. You just have to figure it out. Because if you bowl, you can't bowl short because you're going to get smacked because the wickets are mostly flat. You can't bowl slow because slower. Some batters adjust and just wait for the ball.
Do wide Yorkers, Annie?
Yeah, but wide Yorkers are always a risk if you miss it. But that's one thing we have not seen is Yorkers. Just in general, wide Yorkers, normal Yorkers.
Bowl at stumps. What's happened to that?
So yeah,
it's gone out the window.
So yeah, I don't know.
All you Yorkers full and straight at the stumps. They don't do it anymore, do they? Not anymore.
They don't. It is going to get boring at a stage because it's just going to be, especially if it's just one team getting so many runs. You
absolutely.
aren't going to get proper cricket. But if it's maybe both teams like in that Rajasthan game, then maybe, yeah, that's fair enough. But still. So, like, just feel sorry for the batters. And it gets boring because it's just seeing sixes, nothing else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
like seeing the same thing over and over. It becomes
Yeah.
boring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear your views. Well, Arsenal and Bayern Munich are in the tunnel at the arena, and that is my cue to leave. But thank
Yeah,
you all
mate, yeah.
for joining in. And obviously, we do have one more topic to discuss: South Africa dancing with
Yeah.
Wolfvaardt. But as Hannah will tell you,
Yeah.
Sri Lanka are fighting back. They're not called the Lions for nothing. And with that, I'll leave Hannah to take over
Good luck
from
to
here.
Arsenal,
And
man. Good luck, man. With
cheers,
Arsenal.
boys. See
Good
you all
luck,
soon.
man.
Bye.
Yeah, come on, mate. You need the luck against Bayern.
We do, Steve. We do. Thank you very much indeed. See you soon.
Um,
Cheers,
Hannah,
mate.
take care of
See you-
yourself, son.
See you soon,
Bye.
mate. See you soon,
Okay.
mate.
Yeah, we were dancing with Wolfvaardt. We were. It was all sunshine and roses
Who's
up
that
until
Sri
the
Lankan
second
one
inning.
that's overtaken her, mate? Is she overtaken her? Is it Atapatu, did you say? Is it Atapatu?
Yeah, Atapatu, 95
Oh, right.
runs.
Oh, brilliant.
So
Yeah.
she, if I, let me. I just want to see. Okay, so let's start with the records. This is Sri Lankan's batter, Shamari. We're not going to pronounce the surname because that takes lots of
Not easy, no.
yeah.
Manny would be able to do it. He'd know.
Yeah, he will probably
He's
go to
gone
do
now.
it. So she broken the record for the most runs in boundaries, 154 in an innings, women's ODIs for Sri Lanka woman, going past her own record, I believe, of 124. Unless there's another woman with us same
Well, yeah,
surname.
that's it.
This is our highest individual score in women's ODIs for Sri Lanka, surpassing our own score. You will see their scores are pretty high, but it's their first big score since 2017. So yeah. Then
Yeah, that's
you have
brilliant. Brilliant batting.
then you have got the partnership of 179 is the partnership is Sri Lanka's highest woman for the fifth wicket in women's ODIs, breaking the record of 77. Didn't take much to break that. Of Dendu Silva. And this is the ice match aggregate 606 involving South Africa women and Sri Lanka. Wolfvardt's 148 was the highest individual score in women's ODIs for South Africa, surpassing Luchtenberg's. I believe that, 2007. So it is also back-to-back hundreds for them. She scored 100 in the previous game where they won. And then this is her first 150. So she's broken the record for the most runs in boundaries in women's ODI for South Africa, 116. Going past 100 and passing 82. Of course, Sri Lanka did go on to win this match very comfortably by 6 wickets, atrocious bowling in the end. It turns out to be.
It was, yeah.
So, if 301, you can't defend that.
No. It's strange, isn't it? That should be good enough. 301.
Should have been good enough. Looking at the bowlers scorecards, how many extras were bowled? 19 wides. Jeez.
Oh,
19.
not good.
6 leg buys. That takes it up to 24, and then no balls. That's 26, and we don't know how many runs they did score off those no balls. So pretty high,
The Cat went for a few. Didn't see in the end. I'm 44. So,
They
Cat
almost went
up.
for 200 run partnership. If we scored 25 more runs, they would have gone for 200 partnership. Yeah.
Who's that one that? Who's that one that got 50 there? She
50. I'll bring it up. Silver.
Silver. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's a great innings as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously she's following in the sort of shadow of Afapathy, but to make 50 still, that sort of helps as well. So
yeah, I want to check the highest on ODI score. Let's
what was
check.
the final thing here? Was it 2-1 South Africa, wasn't it? Was it 2-1? Or was it still playing?
No, we lost the series. The T20
you
and
lost
the
it?
ODI.
Oh. Well, I thought you were winning it or something. You were going to win it.
Yeah, well, it's disappointing that we couldn't even beat Sri Lanka on home soil. Yeah, we lost. Yeah, I think this one is drawn. The T21 they won, and the first one, so it's a draw. The ODI, the T20 they won. So
yeah.
So pretty awful.
So you did
I
win
want
one,
to have a look. ODIs.
No, happy for Wolfvaardt though. She got player of the series, didn't she? So she looked like she deserved it, to be honest. So brilliant performance from her, anyway.
Definitely. I want to have a look.
Oh yeah, they won 2-1. Yeah, Sri Lanka.
Batting record. Most runs in an innings. There we go. No, not men. We don't want men. Simple. We want women. Is it so hard to ask? Okay. Thank you.
Was it not doing what it's told, Anna? Is it?
Okay, so this Amapatsu she goes now. She now goes into third position. With just share the other screen now. Just share the other screen. So they haven't properly updated it yet, but she will go into third position ahead of Sharma with a 195. So yeah, she's also on the list in sixth place of 178. Was Wolfvaardt will now move down to fifth position because of a record. So yeah, fair play to her. Looking at some of the teams, Melissa Kerr,
Really tough.
Clark, Linda Clark, Australia.
I think I've heard of her. Yeah. Quite good.
Past the prime.
Well, because she was 50. Oh, she's 53 now.
Yeah, 1997.
I think I remember her playing. I thought she was quite good, I think. Seem to remember her.
So,
obviously at the time, it's not as popular as it is now with the women, but obviously you did still see some of the women's games and that at the time. So, I mean, she was quite good, what I remember. So, well, she should be. 229.
256th. um, women's game.
Mm.
Interesting. So record stood for a long time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
17, so 07 stood for 20 years. Madness.
cool. Yeah,
Um,
brilliant. Yeah, she
brilliant.
was a good player. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so yeah. Uh, I don't know any other predictions. USA did thrash Canada 4-0 in a series they played against each other.
Cool.
If anyone is wondering. Um, Pakistan West Indies woman. Let's talk about it briefly. Just really give predictions. Don't expect. I don't know if you know much about the Pakistan woman or West Indies woman.
Not really. I know. Obviously, I know the England women will be playing them soon. I think it's next month they're playing them, isn't it? So I think it's
Yeah.
next month.
So
So
West Indies are touring in Pakistan. We'll Friday 26th.
I had a car accident.
Hmm.
Bismar, Maroof, and Ghulam Fatima suffer minor injuries in car accident.
Luckily, they've been cleared of any concussion or serious injury.
Well, that's not good, but yeah, hopefully they recover from that.
Yeah,
Or
hopefully I
both
do.
recover.
ODI prediction. Let's just go. Let's just go
How
to
many is it, Hanno? How many?
three.
3.
Three.
So it's Pakistan versus who?
West Indies.
Oh, West Indies. I'm going West Indies here. I just think I think West Indies got more. They got some good batsmen. Is that I'm trying to think of her name. That experienced one that I think she plays in the ODIs, not the ODI, the 100 and stuff, and the T. Is she in the WPL as well? Trying to think of her name now. You'll probably know her. Is she a captain? I think captain of West Indies.
Let's find out.
Trying to think of her blooming name at the moment. But I think she's the standout.
Hayley
Sorry.
Matthews.
Yeah, but she's quite good. But I think that what's the other one now?
The other one,
maybe she don't play for them now. I don't know. West Indies.
Shamin Campbell.
No, not her. No. No, she might not play now. I don't know. She might have retired for the West Indies. I'm not sure. She probably ain't got her there now. But I think they still got a good team there. Probably might be too much for the Pakistan. I'm gonna make it fairly close. I'm gonna go 2-1 West Indies here.
I will go to 1 Pakistan just because it's at home for them. So yeah. But yeah, I think that's everything. We've basically covered most of the stuff. Bangladesh against India woman takes place on the 28th.
Well,
So
India should win, shouldn't they?
yeah.
Be too much for Bangladesh, surely.
Yeah, should be. That's on the 28th, so a few weeks ago. Any other T20 World Cup qualifiers for the women? Yeah. We'll
Chelsea
just
fans
read the name.
2-1 West Indies. Chelsea fan as well.
So the
2-1
names
West Indies.
in the women's T20 qualifiers group: Ireland, Netherlands, Scotland, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Uganda, UAE, US, and Vanuatu woman. I never heard of that country, and Zimbabwe woman. So my money is on Sri Lanka to qualify. And we'll go with
Is it Stephanie Taylor? I think I'm thinking of. It might be Stephanie Taylor or Stephanie, whatever her name is. I think she used to play. I think she was the one that was captain and stuff. I think it's Stephanie Taylor. Or
okay.
trying to
Just
think of.
2-1, 2-1. Okay. So yeah, I think we'll leave this for the next week. So yeah, again, RIP to Angry Rant Man.
Yeah, RIP. He's sad, mate. He's sad, man. He's gone.
Yeah, man. So yeah.
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 We've lost a few, mate. We lost a few already, haven't we? And
Yeah.
of course, Cord, Chig, Stephen, of course, we lost him as well. So quite a few that are gone now. Such a shame, really. But I didn't really see much of his stuff. But I watched a few things of his, few videos of his. But he obviously did go into big rants about obviously Chelsea and everything. But you could hardly blame him, I suppose, with the way they were going. But it's a shame that he's gone now and he's not going to see him win anything. Well, they probably will, but they could win the FA Cup, Chelsea. You never know.
It wasn't just football as well. It went into a lot of things. And yeah, I think it didn't really do much of like the state we're in now. So yeah, but we'll end it off here. Be happy, everyone. Go subscribe to my Space channel. Must be out for football chat and England cricket chat, right?
Yeah. Be something coming soon for that.
We're
getting a few things soon.
Yeah. And then socials are in the description. And do make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you. Cheers.